Live, local, late breaking. This is 4029 News Sunrise.
We're having uncontrolled spread across the state.
Arkansas leaders calling for districts across the state to mandate masks once again. We'll go over the data in just a moment.
The demand for COVID tests have skyrocketed, causing a testing site to reopen, where you can go now to get tested.
A local business coming to the rescue, where a community is suffering from a water shortage. And this, a live look outside from Waldron, when volunteers are expected to hand them out this morning here. Good Wednesday morning, everyone. It's cold outside. I'm Una Lee.
Yeah, get ready for that cold. It'll definitely hit you when you go outside.
And 4029 meteorologist Mark Larmore says it's not going to ease up anytime soon.
No, not in the next couple of days at least. That's when later on this weekend we'll finally see a bit of a warm up. But for the next couple of days for our work week, we will be seeing pretty chilly temperatures Thursday, Friday. It's only going to get colder from here. So here's what we're seeing out there right now. In Fayetteville, shockingly, one of the warmest spots today. Actually, it was about 48 degrees earlier this morning. Now, granted, it's gone down a little bit, but in northwest Arkansas, the warmest spot is Fayetteville, which is kind of a weird thing. Actually, Bella Vista, that's really weird. Bella Vista and Fayetteville are the warmest spots. That's kind of usually the inverse of what we see. And also, speaking of inverses, look at this. We're looking at all of the River Valley. It's actually a lot cooler than northwest Arkansas, around 5-6 degrees, sitting in the 30s. So we may see those temperatures get below freezing in the River Valley pretty soon. In northwest Arkansas might follow suit. Those north winds are really starting to knock those temperatures down, and it will also help limit our temperatures later on today, because our highs will only be in the 40s, which is only a handful of degrees warmer than where we're sitting at right now. So it's not really feeling all much warmer later on today, despite that sun. Now, as we head into our afternoon, overnight, even into our Thursday morning, second cold front's going to come in and really knock our temperatures down. North winds will start filtering in a little bit stronger. We could see a handful of snowflakes in parts of northern northwest Arkansas, but shouldn't be seeing a whole lot of accumulation, if any, out there. And unfortunately, once we get into that Thursday evening and Friday morning, it's only going to get colder.
We are entering a period of probably the greatest risk and the greatest challenge that we faced during the pandemic.
Arkansas hits a new record in COVID-19 cases.
More than 6,500 new cases.
Bless you, Allison. And more than 100 those cases alone. This is the biggest spike in coronavirus cases since the pandemic began. Here's a look at yesterday's numbers. There are more than 32,000 active cases in the natural state right now.
More than 700 people were hospitalized with COVID. 27 people have died. At 5:32, 3 more school districts in our area are heading back to class. 4029's Jamie Weiss is joining us now with a look at how schools are handling the new semester amid a spike in COVID-19 cases.
Hey, good morning, Allison. Well, as students head back to class this week, the Arkansas Center for Health Improvement says every school board across the state should reinstate mask mandates to help keep kids safe.
We've seen a dramatic spike in the number of people with Omicron. We have a testing level that's over 20%, approaching 25% positivity rate. We're having uncontrolled spread across the state.
On December 27th, the group reported about 30 to 49 people per 10,000 residents were infected with COVID-19 in Rogers, Bentonville, and Fayetteville. That puts those school districts in the orange zone. The Arkansas governor also joining in ACI's call for masks. Governor Hutchinson says the state purchased 500,000 face masks back in August, so he says now is the time to use them.
Last summer, we saw the cases go down, but now they're up. And so make sure that those have been received and that they are available and that they're being used.
So right now, Bentonville is the only school district in the state that cannot require face masks. This comes after a Benton County judge ruled that only the governor or secretary of health has the authority to do that. We do want to remind Fayetteville parents before their kiddos head back to school tomorrow that the district says they do plan to update guidance about face masks and requirements before tomorrow. We are live in Rogers. I'm Jamie Weiss, 4029 News.
Students are back today in Bentonville and Rogers, too, and officials with each district tells us that masks are strongly encouraged but not mandated at this time. Fayetteville students return for the spring semester tomorrow. As more and more Arkansans are getting tested for COVID-19, one testing site in Fayetteville opened up again this week to keep up with the demand. The UAMS Northwest testing site on Woolsey Avenue is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's free to get the PCR test and no appointment is necessary. Dr. Sharon Reese says it's important to get tested even if you just have mild symptoms.
I've had patients, friends and family members tell me it's probably allergies or it's probably a cold, it can't be COVID. And then they find out that it is COVID later on. And it's really important to know because even if you yourself don't have severe symptoms, you could pass that on to somebody who does have severe symptoms.
If you need to get a COVID-19 test, UAMS wants you to know that the site on Woolsey Avenue will be closed tomorrow and it will close early at 4:30 on Friday. You can get a PCR test at Mercy each Monday through Friday from 8 in the morning through 4 in the afternoon. And in Fayetteville, stop by Washington Regional any day of the week between 10 a.m. and 2 in the afternoon for a drive-through COVID test.
The Department of Health has a hotline to help you find a vaccination clinic closest to you. The number is there on your screen. You can also use it to get help make an appointment for you. Now to this, Tyson Foods is distributing about 2,000 cases of water, over 65,000 pounds of protein as well in Waldron. This is a live look where volunteers are expected to distribute cases at Waldron High School. Now the community is experiencing a water shortage due to a water main break, and they will open up for that distribution at 8 o'clock today.
Time right now is 5:36, and let's see how the roads are shaping up. 4029's Martin Larmore has Get Ready traffic.
Luckily, it has been a very nice start to our day when it does come to traffic. Still across all of the area, really seeing no problems out there on all I-49 and 40. So let's take a quick peek at that maps just to be sure. Out there, all green on all of Northwest Arkansas. If you're going on 549, both north and southbound lanes from Bella Vista down to Alma are doing just fine. Ozark to Sallisaw, I-40 is doing just fine as well. And getting in and out of Fort Smith via 540, no problem there.
Ozark Regional Transit is changing a few of their routes in Fayetteville because of road work. Routes 10 and 20 will be impacted because of construction. So the shelters at Hillcrest Tower will be out of use through the end of March 2022. The ORT bus stop will be relocated to School Avenue on the east side of the towers. And then Route 20 will have to deviate north on School. It'll go west on Dixon and south on University. Route 10 should be impacted just minimally for you.
The January 6th House Committee is looking to a Fox News host to cooperate with their investigation. What he was texting to the White House after rioters attacked the U.S. Capitol. Plus, the Fort Smith Board of Directors discussed moving a local organization that provides services to the homeless. Why the organization wants to move out of downtown Fort Smith.
We got audio check. Well, good. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right, we have several new developments concerning tomorrow's anniversary of the U.S. Capitol attack. Lawmakers are now looking for answers from Fox News host Sean Hannity about how his communications, what they were before the attack.
And now the former president, Donald Trump, has announced a change of plans. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the details.
This morning, former President Trump has canceled the news conference he was scheduled to hold tomorrow, marking the anniversary of the January 6th attack, as GOP leaders plan to avoid any commemoration of the day. Trump's fellow Republicans had voiced concern about the event. West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore saying, "I just don't think it's a good idea." Let's go! 1 year has passed since the attack, but the FBI says it's still on the hunt for as many as 350 violent suspects. ABC News is learning new details about the scale of the attack. Police say a crowd of 10,000 surrounded the Capitol, with 2,000 illegally entering the building. That's more than twice the number first suspected. And now the House committee investigating the riot is seeking cooperation from a key Trump ally. It's asking Fox News host Sean Hannity to voluntarily respond to questions about his communications with Trump. Newly released text messages reveal Hannity, 1 week before the riot, appeared to warn Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, that White House lawyers were on the verge of resigning to protest Trump's plan to overturn the election. Hannity texting, quote, "We can't lose the entire White House counsel's office. I do not see January 6th happening the way he's being told." And on the eve of the riot, the committee says Hannity seemed to sound the alarm, texting, "I'm very worried about the next 48 hours. In the days after the riot, Hannity texted Meadows and Congressman Jim Jordan describing a call he had just had with Trump, saying he can't mention the election again. Ever. I did not have a good call with him today, and worse, I'm not sure what's left to do or say, and I don't like not knowing if it's truly understood." Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Well, on his show last night, Sean Hannity did not address the committee's request, but his attorney said that they, quote, remain very concerned about the constitutional implications, especially as it relates to the First Amendment. Time right now is 5:42, and Fort Smith Board of Directors met last night for their first meeting of 2022.
We have Lydia Fielder with a breakdown of some of the top issues that were discussed. Lydia.
Allison, several people addressed the board of directors with their concerns over a rezoning proposal for Next Step Day Room. Now, Next Step provides homeless services for the community. Right now, they are looking to relocate out of downtown Fort Smith to South U Street. Leaders with Next Step Homeless Services say moving to a new property will allow them to build a kitchen, showers, laundry room, and an outdoor pet space. But their rezoning request for that property was denied by the Planning Commission back in December. Last night, the board of directors heard the appeal from Next Step and allowed for public comment.
Took a lot of input from the community. There were a lot of people in the room on both sides of the issue. All made very good points, and so the board would like to do a little more discussion on this. We'll schedule a study session in 3 weeks where we address this topic more specifically and determining, is this the right place? Does this service belong on the property that's been proposed?
As you heard there, the deputy city administrator says they hope to do more research on this topic and over the next few weeks answer some questions that were brought up in last night's comment period. Reporting live this morning, I'm Lydia Fielder, 4029 News.
All right, missing Amazon packages found dumped in Oklahoma. What charges could be filed following this investigation?
And if you want to know what you're going to be looking at when it comes to the next 7 days, well, your 7-day forecast is coming up in just a little bit. We're going to have details on what you're going to be expecting for your next week ahead.
the most watched local morning news and weather. Thank you for starting your day with 4029 News Sunrise.
A protest in Chile has some unusual participants. A group of beekeepers put 25 boxes of bees in front of the presidential palace to protest the drought that's been affecting the country and their policies related to the care of those insects. Beekeepers were arrested for public disorder and for putting the public health at risk. There were no reports of civilians with bee stings, but some policemen were injured.
We've got to take care of those bees, though, no matter what.
They are very important.
Yes, and 5:46 right now. The temperatures, boy, you're going to want the suits or whatever you can to warm up today.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cold.
exactly right. It'll be cold enough for insects, probably. Isn't that right, Martin?
Yeah.
I think the bees don't like the cold.
Oh.
And so today is definitely not a bee day. It's definitely going to be, I was trying to think of a different letter, and now I've lost the joke. Well, there goes that joke out the window. But as we see the rest of our week, we're really going to be looking at a lot of chillier temperatures coming in, even colder than we're sitting at right now and expecting for our afternoon, because we're only going to be a handful of degrees warmer later on today as we head into our afternoon, because that cold air is really now starting to settle in. If you've noticed already in northwest Arkansas, those 50s that we had, a handful of them at least, are turning now into 40s, and those 40s are turning into 30s as well. So northwest Arkansas for today, partly cloudy, mostly going to be staying in those low 40s for our afternoon highs. Now Thursday morning, could see a handful of snowflakes. Benton and Carroll County probably have the best chances for seeing them. Don't expect a lot of accumulation. It probably might stick if it does actually hit the ground. It's going to be pretty chilly, but actually in the afternoon, probably going to be still pretty chilly as well, staying only in those upper to mid 20s, with our Friday being very chilly in the morning, expecting wind chills near zero, probably going to be above that zero marker instead of below like we had a couple days ago. But we get into that Saturday where we're luckily going to be warming up and getting a little bit of rainfall in the same boot as well, and we'll be cooling down as we head into that Sunday and Monday, clearing out as well. So it's going to be a fairly nice week once we get past the weekend, but it's going to be very cold for our Thursday and Friday, with rain chances pretty much almost guaranteed for a lot of us this weekend.
All right, Martin, thank you. Well, a nightmare on a busy highway yesterday. Miserable drivers trapped in snow and ice for more than a day. Interstate 95 for a 50-mile stretch in Maryland and Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. Some people spent the night in their cars. Some ran out of gas. Some abandoned their vehicles to get to warmth, water, food, and safety. Oh, what a mess it was. One trucker, though, tried to make the best of the situation by offering a hot breakfast to his fellow stranded motorists.
Hey, I just made you a hot breakfast and a cup of fruit punch. I saw you were sitting out here the whole time. As long as me, I was here since 1 a.m. So it was him and his mother, and both of them were really appreciative. It was a really nice moment.
Oh, well, at this hour, there are no more people stranded in I-95. No crashes, deaths, or injuries have been reported, fortunately, but a lot of vehicles were stuck or disabled on 95. Benton County has issued a 24-hour burn ban due to current weather conditions here. This, according to the Pea Ridge Fire Department. This means no outside burning of any kind for us here. 5:49 and in our Commitment 2022 coverage, early voting is underway right now in a local runoff election. The District 7 state Senate seat will be up for grabs next month. It'll impact the residents of Springdale, Fayetteville, and the surrounding towns. Two Republicans, Colby Fulfer and Steve Unger, will face off in a runoff election on January 11th. That's coming up Tuesday. Polls are open right now, though, from 8 a.m. to 4:30 until Friday. Whoever wins will face Democrat Lisa Parks on February 8th.
The Texas governor is suing President Biden and members of the administration over the COVID-19 vaccine mandate for the National Guard. The governor says the policy is unconstitutional. Abbott's lawsuit states more than 200 members of the Air National Guard and 40% of the Army National Guard in Texas are refusing to get the shot. It says the mandate could lead to the loss of those guardsmen. Now, the price of COVID testing kits, it's going up. Walmart and Kroger are now raising prices on the Buy Next Now at-home kits. That's after the deal with the White House to hold those prices at $14 expired. Walmart's now selling them for just under $20 a box and Kroger for $24.
Well, stolen Amazon packages recovered in Oklahoma. The Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office says nearly 600 due to arrive before Christmas packages were found dumped in a rural area on New Year's Eve. Nearly every other item was stolen. In total, deputies found about 600 destroyed or untouched packages.
We do know from checking the logs that the items were taken from the Amazon warehouse on over to, it was making its way over to United States Postal Service, never made it to USPS.
Since USPS never received the package, it's not a federal crime, but local charges could still be filed.
Now, growth in U.S. manufacturing slowed in December to an 11-month low, with companies continuing to deal with supply chain issues. The Institute for Supply Management reported that its index of manufacturing fell to 58% in December. That's nearly 2.5 percentage points below the November reading of 61%.
Well, data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows a record 4.5 million Americans voluntarily left their jobs in November. That's a 3% quits rate, which matches the high from September. Many analysts believe the trend is being driven largely by people who are retiring early. It all means a labor shortage is unlikely to let up anytime soon.
Now, Arkansas's December tax revenue went up. The state saw a 20% gain in sales tax revenue and an almost 12% gain year to date. This pushed Arkansas overall. Our tax revenue is up 1.5% over the budget estimates. The Department of Finance and Tax Administration says that those tax collections do reflect continued recovery across our state's economy.
5:52 right now. The Fort Smith metro area has seen continuous growth over the past several years, but no year has performed as well in building activity as 2021. Permit values topped $340 million this year. The three largest cities in the Fort Smith metro area ended the year with a 29% higher value in permitted building activity than last year. Fort Smith, Van Buren, and Greenwood had more than $340 million in permitted building activity through the year.
Now to a Rawson in 60 with the latest consumer news for you. A major warning for Android users about a glitch that could keep you from calling 911. Our chief national consumer correspondent, Jeff Rawson, has the details.
Hey, welcome to Rawson in 60. Working from home today. My daughter has COVID, so I'm here taking care of her, and I needed to come on to tell you about this urgent new warning from Google impacting millions of people who have Android devices. All I need is 60 seconds or less to tell you about it. We have the clock in the top left corner. Let's start it right now. So Google has discovered a glitch on Android devices in the Microsoft Teams app that could actually prevent you from calling 911 during an emergency. Obviously, this is very important. This is public safety. They're going to come out, they say, with a fix later this month. But for now, there's something you can do. Go into the Google Play Store, and if you have not updated your Microsoft Teams app since December 10th, I want you to get in there in the Google Play Store, re-download, get the software update for Microsoft Teams if you have an Android device right now. That's Rawson in 60. Now back to you.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much. And 5:54 now, in Chipotle is rolling out a new plant-based chorizo at all of its U.S. locations. The company says the product uses all real, fresh ingredients and is grown on a farm, not in a lab. Chipotle first tested out its plant-based chorizo last year, and it says the vegan protein is only available on its menus nationwide for a limited time. Your Hog Wild coverage now. Razorbacks are still reveling off that Outback Bowl win, and Arkansas enjoying its victory and some much-needed time off for the guys. A few did enter the transfer portal, like Traylon Smith, Kendall Catalon, Jordan Silver, and Monterick Brown declared for the draft. Coach Sam Pittman says he is very pleased with the victory and with what he and his staff have done here in just 2 years' time.
You could kind of feel it in the crowd, you could kind of feel it. And we're hungry for football. Our state's hungry for football. We're a proud state. And football, and no disrespect to any other sport, football is big in the state of Arkansas at the University of Arkansas. I'm really, really proud of our team with what we've accomplished.
And check this out. Look at this bling. Coach Pittman showing off on Twitter the ring that the Razorbacks chose to commemorate the Outback Bowl win. You can see he's got 3 trophies and a hog right on top of it with the Outback Bowl logo on one side, the SEC logo on the other. Kind of a little jealous, you know, but I don't think I deserve to own one. So, win pig, and congratulations to the Hogs.
Absolutely. All right, it's going to be very cold for you, so especially for those fans that made it back home from Tampa. No Florida temperatures here.
No, they're going from like 85 degrees to football weather is here.
I want to know who wrote "Say It Ain't So" in the prompter. I saw that and I was like, all right. That's something. I imagine that's our producer that probably wrote that. That sounds like very much a Kelly thing. Oh my gosh, now she's getting on to me. Let's take a look at the weather for right now. Right this morning, it is pretty chilly out there, but not as cold as it is up to our north. If we head out into North Kansas and northeast Missouri, northwest Missouri as well, we got Kansas City sitting at 16 degrees, even single digits up toward Nebraska. So while we're not going to be seeing single digit temperatures very soon, we will start seeing a drastic drop off in our wind chills, especially. The winds will pick up as we head into our Thursday morning with single digit wind chills expected across the entirety of Northwest, and we'll stay in the teens for just about all day Thursday. So that's probably going to be our coldest day all in all, will be that Thursday all day from morning to evening. You can see we'll be back in the single digits, and even in that Friday morning we'll have temperatures in the teens. Now back to what we're expecting for today. Well, again, we're starting in the 30s and 40s and barely getting all that much warmer in northwest Arkansas because of those partly cloudy skies, and we'll lose the clouds just in time as we head into our coolest time of the day. We actually start wanting to cool down a little more, and that's what we'll see again. If we do actually lose clouds for a good portion of our afternoon and evening, we'll get pretty chilly as we head into our overnight. River Valley will be topping off in the 50s for our highs today with partly cloudy skies. Losing the clouds, traffic across the region still looking pretty good all across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.